Hobby Quick Hits. Delivering that breaking hobby news directly to your earlobes. You want to know those hot drops from the card shop? We've got you covered. With your host, John Newman.
Hello everyone, welcome to episode 217 of Hobby Quick Hits. And this was a show I thought I did last year, and then I realized I didn't. And so I'm like, I definitely have to do this year. What am I talking about? Well, we just got through with Thanksgiving. I hope yours was a great one, spent with family and friends, enjoying the things we should all be grateful for. And so I wanted to do an episode. We're going to leave out the news and product release schedule on this episode to keep this episode short and sweet. And so what is it? It's going to be me sort of tipping my cap and giving thanks to a bunch of different folks, right, that have made, and I'll keep it to the hobby related, not across the board, just hobby related, people that I'm grateful and thankful for to what I get to do. And I wear a few hats in the hobby, right? Most of you know, besides a content creator, I'm a bulk subber for SGC. I'm a dealer who's set up at shows since the age of 15. So 37 years of shows now. And so, I want to give thanks as a podcaster, as a dealer, and even as an administrator with Hobby Hotline, right? The third show that I'm involved with. So, today's my, tip my cap to, I know it's one day a year, but we should be thankful and grateful every day, 365, 24/7. And I am, but I'm going to take this episode to mention some folks and be thankful for them and appreciate them. And so that's what this episode's going to be. It's not going to be long. Like I said, we took out the news segment. We'll catch up back up with that in a couple weeks with the next Hobby Quick Hits and product release calendar. We'll table those for this episode to keep this at a shorter length. And that being said, so we're going to hear from our great sponsor of this program, and then give out some thanks and kudos. So stay with us.
Hi, this is Pat Hughes, Cubs announcer, coming to you from the Sports Card Shop in beautiful New Buffalo, Michigan. The Gocher family has built an incredible place here for collectors to buy, sell, and trade cards and memorabilia. Be sure to stop by and let them show you around. TheSportsCardShop.com, connecting sports, athletes, the hobby, and collectors around the world.
Hi. This is Alan Pinkett, and I'm here to tell you the Gocher family has done it again. They've just opened up the Sport Card Shop in downtown Valparaiso, Indiana, and it is awesome. If you're a collector, you need to check this place out. Tell them Alan sent you and get a free gift on your first visit.
All right, time to give some thanks out. I thought I did this kind of show last year. I didn't. So I definitely wanted to do it this year and try to keep it more hobby. I mean, I could thank a lot of people pertaining to my real job, and which I love, but let's keep it just hobby related. And I think, we should do this. I know Thanksgiving's one day a year, but we should be grateful throughout the year, if not every day. And so I'm going to kind of do this in sort of a segments, right? Because I wear different hats in the hobby, right? Content creator with the podcasting, and then show dealer, setting up at shows and stuff. So starting on the podcast side, right? I want to start off with thanking my wife, Sharon. And, she's not in the hobby. She doesn't know anything about cards, but she gives me the freedoms and is supportive that allows me to do stuff pertaining to the hobby, whether that's traveling time where I'm not home, time when I'm upstairs here in the studio recording and doing that sort of work, and never really complains about it, and allows me to do what I enjoy, and I obviously in turn do the same, but want to definitely acknowledge that, right? I say this all the time, and I'll say it again on a Thanksgiving episode, right? You out there, right? We don't exist without you, right? Otherwise, I'd be talking to myself, which I wouldn't bother me, but wouldn't be fun, right? So, and even with 4 years in on this show, and almost seven. No, we are 7 years into the Sports Card Nation podcast. Like to see the growth, and every show hits a plateau, and then you tweak some stuff, and so since the last this year I went to the double episodes on Sports Card Nation rather than one big long episodes. It was something I was thinking about, and then some feedback was given to me like, John, your episodes are too long. Like, I love your show, but shorter episodes, please. And between me already kind of leaning that way and then getting that feedback, that's why we went to the double episodes. So our episodes average now 30 to 45 minutes each, instead of an hour and a half, sometimes even more than an hour and a half. And the feedback I've gotten from that has been tremendous. People, a lot of compliments, and the numbers and the demographics reports I get denote that people are enjoying that too. And I probably should have done it sooner, quite frankly. But again, thank you to the listeners out there, not only for listening, but for contacting me, giving me feedback, good, bad, either way, and it makes the show, I believe, better. And whether you listen to one show, every show, just shows that interest you, doesn't matter. I appreciate all of you in the same form and capacity. Sponsors, right? I didn't start the podcast in 2018 to get sponsorships, right? That wasn't one of the goals I set, but it became part of the show. And I want to thank, my current sponsors, but I thank all sponsors that have been part of the show, even if they're not any longer. And, the fact that you thought enough of the show to be a part of it, and I call it the Sports Card Nation family, that means a lot. But let me thank the current sponsor as well. So the title sponsor of this show, Sports Card Shop by the Gocher family, 2 locations, Valparaiso in New Buffalo, Michigan, Valparaiso, Indiana. And I've gotten to know Rex and his sons, Max and Owen, and just a great family, great people who care about the hobby, care about their customers, and just honored and privileged to have them part of this program. And I can't stress that enough. Now, just overall, Iron Sports Cards, one of my sort of first sponsor, not the first, but Rob there doing bulk submissions, one of my early sponsors, and still to this day with us. Sports Collectors Digest. I get to write for them, I think going on 3 years now. Just an honor and a privilege. And Jeff Owens, who's the editor in charge, just again, when we talk about great people, Jeff checks those boxes, and I really appreciate him and Sports Collectors Digest, who's one of the OGs when it comes to online publications. So shout out to them. Upper Deck, they let me review some product from time to time. And again, wish they had more licensing like they used to, but they make some great hockey product. So when it comes to making this show possible, right, some of that stuff, and again with Upper Deck, most of that stuff I give away to listeners, so it allows listeners to get some freebies, and it allows me to send out some racks. So I appreciate Upper Deck for trusting me and believing in me to do that. I want to thank fellow content creators, whether I know you or I don't know you. I think to me, I can only speak for myself. I look at content content creators as a fraternity. And I like to think we push each other, right? I believe we all get ideas for shows from each other. To say you don't, I think it's disingenuous. It's funny because I've done shows and where someone hasn't done it yet, and then after that, people tackle that topic, and I'm okay with that. That's great. I like, if I do that, I tend to give credit where I got the idea from, most of the time, I believe, or at least I try to. But I think we're all in the same fraternity. We push each other to be better. It's not so much to beat somebody, but just to make, that internal drive to be a better content creator. So that's the content creator side. Let's go to my show side, right? And so I have a group of friends that I usually set up with, Chad, Alessio, and Nick. Alessio I went to high school with. Chad is the godfather of my son Jordan, and I've known him for 30 plus years, played softball with him for almost that long, if not. And Nick Dio, same thing. I've known him a while. And, we just have a blast setting up at shows together. We're throwing peanuts at each other, catching them in them. People think we're nuts, but we're really just having some fun and enjoy. We love doing shows, and I think that comes out with some of our antics. And most people get us, but. It's nice because you have someone to talk to or ask for an opinion, and they're right there. You got to use the restroom or you got to leave the table for a bit. They can cover you. And, with me doing, usually 2 of my own tables and then an SGC table, that's 3 tables. So it's not always easy to walk around or even hit the restroom, depending on where it is. So, and not just them, but fellow dealers in general, right? We talk about the fraternity of content creators. That's the same. I look at dealers the same way. The promoters, right? The shows don't happen without them, and good promoters make these shows happen. And not only make these shows happen, but make them successful. And my Syracuse ones I've done for over 20 years now. They're usually very good for me. I'm very blessed. And Lynn Lake on that front does a great job with them. Andrew Crossett, even though I don't do the Watertown show no more anymore, he does a great job in his own right. He does some other area shows which I dabble in as well. Right, the customers, right? When you're a dealer, you rely on great customers to have a great show. Obviously, when you set up at a show, you want to make some deals, right? Whether it be a sale or sale/trade or just a trade only, right? Does not happen without the consumer. And it's not even just, it's not even just the transactional, right? It's the conversations you have with great people. And, the SGC table, well, and I'm 2 years into that, and it's been a blessing in itself. And if you heard the story, almost accidental, right? I've gotten to meet some great people at that table, and people put the trust in you, right? They're handing over a Mickey Mantle rookie, Jackie Robinson cards, Ted Williams, some big time, Babe Ruth. I've had Babe Ruth come true. And the fact that people trust me to handle that stuff, I'm very thankful and blessed for that. I want to thank them for giving me that ability. Thank you to SGC. Speaking of sponsors, right? They do sponsor the podcast, and they allow me to be the bulk subber. And I know we hear all the doomsday stuff. They're still going. I just talked to my rep a day before I recorded this, and there's no, according to him, there's no plans to close up. They are, going, still going, and plan on still going. So, shout out to them on 2 fronts, right? The bulk sub and the sponsorship of the podcasting. And I love them, right? I grade my cards there. It's not just a money-making vessel for me. It's a product and service I believe in. I was a user of SGC before they were a sponsor of our shows. BCW, great affiliate. We have a link where people can get 10% off, and then I get a percentage of the sales. Generally, how affiliate links work. Well, it's been a great partnership with them too. I take out any of my affiliate commissions kind of a week or two before the national and use that as some spending money, and that's been tremendous and an asset and helps me, frankly, acquire a couple cards. So thanks to them. Speaking of the national, I want to thank the powers that be there for allowing me to, attend as media, do some shows on the main stage, including Hobby Hotline Live, Sports Card Nation Live, and things of that nature. So, it's the biggest show. It's the Super Bowl to hobby, and I'm glad to be afforded the opportunity to do some stuff there that maybe, I don't take for granted. So thank you to the powers that be at the National as we we're heading back towards the next one here with the turn of the new year. Hobby Hotline, I just mentioned them. It's a show I've been a part of and one of the OGs of for 5-6 years now. We've had a lot of hosts come through and co-hosts come through. I think we've got 17 or 18 now. We've moved to the 4 Collectors Network. Thanks to those guys for extending the opportunity and the bridge to come over. I think it's been very good for both parties, I hope. And I know but that switch has also brought on some new folks, part of the team. And so thanks to 4 Collectors. But speaking of Hobby Hotline, thanks to everyone part of that, past and current, right? Over 40 people have been part of that entity at one time or another. And again, that's a multi-host show weekly, most of the time, 3 different people most weeks, right? I do a lot of the logistics, the truth be told, but there is no show without those folks being part of it. And so I appreciate all of them. Too many to thank individually, but they're all deserve a lot of credit for the credit of the show and listeners, right? Again, podcast our podcast, but the listeners are make them what they are. So listeners, whether you listen to Hobby Hotline, Hobby Quick Hits, Sports Card Nation, one of them, 2 of them, 3 of them, I thank you from the bottom of my heart. This is a labor of love. It's a passion that I enjoy doing it, and you folks out there make all of those shows possible. Sponsors are great as well, but shows really do not happen without listeners. So there's my Thanksgiving, my thanks. I know it was, I kind of tried to keep it short and sweet, but if I forgot anybody, it was completely unintentional. I don't think I did, but thank you everybody, right? We'll kind of close on that as we wrap up 2025. And, speaking of shows, little tease, it might be a new one getting ready to launch. I'll leave that there as for what that is. We had card matches and that ended, and maybe we have something to replace card matches with a co-host. But there's this teases I'm going to get you. But again, as we wrap up 2025 and head towards 2026, I wish everybody and their families health, happiness, enjoy the hobby, and we'll see you really soon. All right. Thank you for listening to another episode of Hobby Quick Hits. Want to give out our social media, starting with our website, which is www.sportscardnationpodcast.com. Facebook, you can follow us at www.facebook.com/sportscardnationpodcast/ Twitter, we are at SportsCardNATI1, so it's SportsCard NATI1. Instagram at Sports Card Nation Podcast, or you can email the show hobbyquickhits@gmail.com. Again, thanks for listening. We'll see you next week.